Good afternoon, Dr. P talking Korean entertainment again. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in New Jersey. All right. As we know, J-Hope went into the military, a couple days ago. He's in. Jin came and all the rest of BTS came and greeted him and all that fun stuff. So today I read an article that J-Hope is in 1-week quarantine due to Covid-19. Now, I don't know if that means he has Covid-19 or not. Army seems to think not. They're saying that everybody who goes into the military in the Republic of Korea now, everybody goes into a 1-week quarantine. They test, and then they spend a week, and then they test again, and if they're clear, they go on and do their basic training. I find that hard to believe. Not saying it's not possible, but I find it hard to believe. I want you to think about this. Hundreds of recruits show up at this location. They enter the military, hundreds at a time. And then they're all put in, hundreds of them, 300, 400, 200, who knows? They're all put in quarantine at the same time for a week. Someone suggested, and actually more than suggested, acted as if it's fact, and maybe it is, that they have a special barracks for that. So let's say they take 300 brand new recruits to show up to this installation. They book them in, and then they put all 300 of them up in the same barracks. So now you have 300 recruits all together in the same barracks in, and I quote, quarantine. Sounds more like a super spreader than a quarantine to me. When my wife and I had COVID, we had to quarantine by ourselves. Okay? No one around. When my friend had COVID and the rest of his family didn't, he had to lock himself away upstairs, away from his family, alone. That's quarantine. Putting 300 people together at a barracks is not quarantine. Again, it's more like a super spreader. If just one guy of the 300 in the same barracks comes down with COVID, evidently it would spread, would it not? I rest my case. Now, Jin went in what, November, December of last year? He's only been in a few months. I remember when Jin went in, the other member of BTS who's in. I remember that well. It was all about him participating in a Lunar New Year holiday thing, basically, a little ways down the road, right? I saw pictures of him in the first week that he was in his uniform and all that stuff. I never heard one word, not one, of Jin being in quarantine because of COVID-19. But today we hear that J-Hope is in quarantine because of COVID-19. And we're told that everybody that went in there with him is in quarantine. Well, what about Jin? Jin met him the day he showed up there to go in, him and all the other BTS members. Is Jin back in quarantine? Active duty soldier? Is he now in quarantine? How about the other members? How about the other 5 members of BTS? Did they go into quarantine? Look, I don't know. I could be barking up a wrong tree. Wouldn't be the first time. But when you make a report about one guy because he's famous, being in quarantine for COVID-19, makes it hard for me to believe that everybody is in quarantine for COVID-19. Jin didn't get that report. Never happened. J-Hope did. So, until I'm corrected, and I'll accept it if I am. People are trying to correct me. They're telling me this, that, but they're not proving it. Until you can prove to me and show me that every swinging, you know what, that went in there with J-Hope, hundreds of them, if they're all in quarantine and you can prove it, I'll back down. Otherwise, I have no choice but to believe that J-Hope entered military service and now has COVID-19 and is in quarantine. Not that it's a big deal, but I have no choice but to believe that over everybody is. Anyhow, that's my take on J-Hope, military, and COVID-19. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Answer me if you want. I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you can prove to me that I'm wrong, I'd like to see that. I'd like somebody to show me how they do this. If in fact they are quarantining every single recruit that goes in. How big is the facility? It's going to be a football field in size, just for one building. How else can you house them and keep them separate? How do they eat? How do they wash? How do they do their laundry? Interesting. Again, like, subscribe, respond. I'd be interested to know. That's my take. Have a great day. Dr. P signing out.